Tanya. It's on 3, take away. That's what we
And the new generation, they want to do everything differently.
Yeah.
So they came and it's just like, no craft. We don't like that. This is too polished. This is fake. This is not authentic. And I think authenticity doesn't necessarily mean raw. It means honest. Does this style fits the brand? Is it honest? That's it.
Ja. Welkom bij de allereerste aflevering van 3 Takeaways. De podcast waarin we de toekomst van ons vak als mediamakers verkennen. Maar de toekomst, ja, dat is nog wel een breed begrip.
Ja, en er zijn zoveel conferenties, werkgroepen, artikelen, boeken die je inmiddels kunt lezen om een beetje bij te blijven, dat wij ons ook wel voor kunnen stellen dat je soms even door de bomen het bos niet meer ziet. Maar daar hebben we hopelijk wat op bedacht.
Ja, daarom willen wij in deze podcast wat meer grip krijgen op de materie. En dat doen we door aan de meest interessante innovators, makers, strategen en visionairs te vragen: welke 3 dingen over media-innovatie moeten we weten om klaar te zijn voor de toekomst?
Ja, maximaal 3 dingen, lekker overzichtelijk. En deze week zijn we de hele week op de Dutch Media Week in Hilversum. En vandaag praten we met Tanya Ponomareva van GoSpooky. Maar laten we eerst heel kort onszelf even voorstellen. Ja. Ik ben Jolien, ik ben journalist, ondernemer en innovatiestrateeg.
Nou, en ik ben Merlijn Passier en ik ben filmmaker, programmamaker en ik hou me bezig met media-innovatie. Maar nu naar Tanya. Tanya is Creative Director bij GoSpooky, een marketingbureau dat gespecialiseerd is in social media. Ze weet alles van AR, XR en hoe je technologie inzet om een verhaal te vertellen. En specifiek hoe je daarmee een jonger publiek bereikt. En dat is natuurlijk de heilige graal voor iedere media professional. Tanya, welcome. We're going to do this in English. Well, that's a lot of terminology in your bio. AR,
Yes.
XR. When is it really going to be relevant for me as a content creator?
Thanks for having me, first of all. So it's nice to be here. Well, XR, it's a very broad term, but it's basically all about technology, and it's a mixed technology. And that's what we basically do at GoSpooky, and that's what I specialize in, different types of tech. It could be AR, it could be AI, it could be VR, so different domains.
I had the opinion that it was dead already. VR, you hardly ever hear anything about it anymore.
It is partly true. I think VR mostly moved into kind of maybe medical domain. So every time that you would need to facilitate a deep experience, or it could be gamified, it could be educational. So it just became very niche. It's not a mass market product, first of all, because you need to have VR glasses to watch the experience. And it's not very, well, consumer friendly as well. But there is a niche for that. So it is popular in particular industries, maybe not that much in marketing or advertising anymore.
Yeah, because like you said, not a lot of people have these devices. I'm curious, how did this come into your life? Like, how did you first get in touch with this?
I came across it already 10, 12 years ago when I started my career. It was called digital back in the days. And then it slowly became social, and then it became mixed reality. So finally it's all blended together.
So you yourself, are you also active personally on Snapchat or Roblox? Because I think that's, for me, I'm in my 30s, I can do TikTok, but like Snapchat is already difficult for me. And I have colleagues that are, well, even a little bit older, and they'll even like leave TikTok because they don't understand the language of the medium. And if you have to learn how to create for these media, like, how do you get into that?
Just watch a lot of content. So I'm an active user of Instagram, and I'm an active watcher of TikTok. So I spend most of my time watching TikTok, and then the rest of the time, I would say, making videos and pictures for Instagram. And I also quite active for Snapchat.
So you're being sucked into the tunnel of all that TikTok content.
For sure, yes.
Are you addicted?
I wouldn't call myself addicted, but I'm curious. And I'm curious.
Sounds like an excuse.
I'm very curious how the TikTok algorithm evolves. There is a very, very special thing about TikTok algorithm that not many people know about. And it works on time density. So that's what it's called. So it promotes content that's being watched from start to finish. And even if you're a small creator, if you make a piece of content that's immediately going to be picked up and been fully watched for, let's say, 5 people first, and then 10 people, and if it's 100 people within the first 5 minutes, that's going to be viral. And that's how basically TikTok promotes the content. It's not necessarily about likes or shares or the region or how many followers this person has. It's all about engagement.
So you can fool the algorithm by getting 100 people to vote or to like or to engage with the content in the first 5 minutes?
No, it's not that simple. No, it also cannot be same people from the same region or the same family or connected. So algorithm is quite smart. So it picks on your location or your interests. And that's also a very interesting thing about TikTok, that it never serves you just the content you like. It surprises you with the content that you might be interested in, or completely opposite piece of content. So if you're into fashion, you occasionally will get a piece of content about tech. So the algorithm will test, is it something you would like to see? And if it's yes, you will see more content like that. And therefore, TikTok is so popular, and people spend so much time on TikTok because they always get surprised.
And someone told you about this algorithm, or did you figure it out yourself?
We work with TikTok, and we also work with Snap. So I attended a good amount of workshops and lectures, and I like to go to events to also listen about it. So
that makes you the expert then, right? Yeah.
Well,
so what we're here for the 3 takeaways.
Yes, I think we'll dive into this and how to create for these platforms in a bit. But let's start with your first takeaway. Brands need to treat social gaming platforms as part of their long-term content strategy to engage younger audiences. Well, social gaming platforms, I'm not sure everybody even knows what those are. What do you mean by them?
Good question. So when we think about social, we think about TikTok and Instagram at the very best. Could be also ex-Twitter, could be another platform. But social is a broader term. It's where people interact, where they connect, where communities are. And the biggest social platforms, actual platforms like Roblox, like Fortnite, like Minecraft. There are 3.2 billion people play Roblox worldwide. It's 4 out of 10 people globally.
Amazing, yeah.
So 40% of the people are on these platforms.
Yes.
So out of every 10 people, we all know there should be 4.
Yeah, there should be 4 playing Roblox.
So I'm in the wrong I'm in the wrong bubble because I think I don't know them yet. It's all young people or
young people.
Aha.
Yeah, mostly
Okay.
Gen Z, Gen Alpha as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, some millennials, obviously. Look at me.
So, but imagine you know everything about social media, but imagine that you're working in the more conventional media. How can you implement the findings that you discovered in these last years in that kind of content?
Yeah. So the platforms like TikTok or Roblox, again, they're powered by algorithm. So TikTok promotes content which is authentic, which is highly engagement on, and where people basically interact. And you would see a lot of content that's been born out of also comment section. People would reply to a piece of content. There is a conversation. And brands that do it really well are brands that would respond to even the most negative pieces of content in a fun, innovative way that would engage even more people. Same in Roblox. It's about user-generated worlds. Anyone can create a world on Roblox. Anyone can create an item. There are millions of items sold on the platform, and there are just different rules of the game. So if you're in the traditional media, you would probably still have an idea of your campaign, or it could be, I don't know, a story that you want to share. And the question is, how can I share the same story in a way that's authentic for this platform, in a way that it works for this platform?
I have 2 kids. They're 16 and 18. And I always wonder that they only get to see the content that they want to see or that they are sucked into. And they will never be surprised by a nice little TV show or a picture movie about a guy who's making clocks or
flipping channels.
Flipping channels. And
That's what YouTube for.
Well, but YouTube also has its own algorithm, of course.
Yeah,
So
it does.
the element of surprise is also something worth, right?
For sure. I think it's just for many years we've been producing TV series without getting any feedback. So we never knew how people would react.
We were just guessing.
We were just guessing.
I'm curious though, if we bring it back to your takeaway,
Yeah.
your advice is to treat these social gaming platforms as a part of the long-term content strategy.
Yep.
Could we maybe use an example? Say I'm making a documentary series, or I'm making a fictionalized TV show, anything that's made here at the Media Park.
Yeah.
I have my budget. Most of it is going to be spent on shooting days, crew, all of that. Would you say cut some of the budget and invest it in content for Roblox, and how to go about it?
Yeah.
Where would we start? How would you even do it?
I would first think about who is the audience, who are the people you want to watch this piece of content or this TV show or anything that is produced. And then what are the best mediums to reach those people? So if it's primarily Gen Z audience, then I would invest in TikTok, I would invest in Roblox, in a similar platform. And I would think, how can we recreate a similar experience that we just did for this TV show on Roblox, for example? If it would be a game, what would it be? If there is a merchandising, can we launch those T-shirts in Roblox with imagery or heroes of that show? Just as simple as that.
Do you think should everything be a game?
I don't think everything should be a game, but game is a lot about engagement. And I think that a lot of things are not engaging at the minute. And that's why people get bored.
Well, what's wrong with boredom?
It's not, but boredom
It can be very inspiring, right?
For sure, but boredom is a choice. So to bore people with content, it's a kind of not a good thing to do, in my opinion.
Do you not recognize the feeling that sometimes you just want to sit back, relax, watch a show, and
Of course.
not have to engage?
Of course, and I would pull up Netflix and I would watch a show.
Yeah.
But then I would want to know what other people think about it. And I would go on TikTok and listen everything about it and engage in conversation.
All right, so it's two different kinds of experience. First you have the passive consuming maybe, and then you get into interactive mode and you want to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
When we're creating media content, we have an ethical responsibility
Yes.
towards our target audience,
Of course.
especially when it concerns a younger audience. Shouldn't we be very careful with them as well,
Yes.
with all the branding and trying to convince them to buy stuff or to be cool when you buy an artificial outfit for your virtual character? And I mean,
100%. We all should be very careful. So when we work with brands and create those games, we first identify, okay, what is our youngest audience and what are the ethical considerations? We never just sell products. So the purpose of having a world on Roblox is that there are people and kids that can play and enjoy just actual playing time, actual games like Obby game. And that's what it's a gift from brand to people. And then maybe if you like that gift, you're going to like the brand. So it's creating connection. It's creating, some sort of a conversation, not pushing any products, not selling anything directly. And if people like your product and what you do, maybe they would also like to buy something, but it's not the purpose. It's not the first third. It's kind of an after third. It's more loyalty building.
yeah. Let's go to the second takeaway.
Let's go to the second one. Takeaway 2. Content is now a tool for building communities where fans become brand advocates and creators drive sales. The power of content lies in its ability to build loyal, active communities, not just passive viewers. What does that mean exactly?
Okay. So maybe to talk about more creators. So there are a lot of different content creators that would tell stories in a very authentic, very raw way that would reach insane amount of audience, like videos that would go almost viral because they're authentic, because they're fun, they would always engage with their community. And that's what we also advise to brands, is not to try to build a community from scratch. rather tap into the community and offer them something. And if you don't know how to do it, work with people that already do it, like content creators. That will help your brand to stand out.
And when is something successful? Can you measure that?
On TikTok, you can measure, first of all, how many people watched this piece of content, when people dropped. So what are the most disengaging time? And then how many likes, responses? Are they positive? Are they negative? Where did this piece of content traveled? Which part of the world interacted with most?
Yeah.
What do these people like? Like, what are their interests? Like, what is demographic? So you can get all the data very quickly. And you can also look at the most performing assets and then discuss what made them most performing.
That we don't really do that in conventional media yet, right? It's we have some figures like how many people are watching and when they stop looking at a TV show, I think. So if you're still working in the offices of the news, for example, how can you start applying?
I'm a massive fan of New York Times and Economist. I think I listen to all the podcasts that they produce and I watch their TikToks for at least a couple of hours every day. What they do really well is, so first of all, the podcast format is just discussing a particular subject, having a third leader that will give an opinion, and tapping into different social issues, having full investigation about it, like checking all the reports and producing content that is engaging, that you can immediately reply on, you can listen to, you can re-listen to again. And on TikTok, it's one of the reporters would have on the background the article, and basically recap the article for you, like a short summary, 5-10 minutes. You don't even need to read it. If you don't have subscription, you can just listen to it. And then you can engage in a conversation with people that also like that article or didn't like that article. You can have a conversation about that. I think that's where at least it's going in the US. And the New York Times channel on TikTok is extremely popular. There are millions of people watching it every day.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, because you just mentioned don't build a community by yourself, but look for creators who are already in that community. I think that's really an interesting lesson, because what happens now that a lot of the broadcasters are looking at TikTok and they see a creator and then they say, come make a show for us on like the traditional platform.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it should be the other way around.
100%. Should be the other way around. Also identifying the personas. We work with creator managers. We don't just, pick creators because they're popular. We're like, okay, what is the personality? What's the story? What's the character? It's like casting actors for a movie. It's very important to find someone with the right tone of voice, someone who can tell your story, be passionate about it, be authentic about it. So we are casting creators, basically. And they also become our film directors altogether.
Okay.
Takeaway number 3.
AI is empowering a new generation of content creators, driving a shift in who can create and the quality they can achieve. I think we both are kind of trying to figure out how this works. We're experimenting a little bit with also AI video. We think it's hard, but we try.
It is.
And I'm wondering, because we see this happening. So what do you think are the consequences of this for people who make traditional formats now? And we are all a little bit in love with our like fancy cameras and our high quality stuff and the way we've been doing things for a long time.
Yeah.
And now this is happening. Mm-hmm. So now what? Do you know?
Yes, I do. It's a big fear, not just for you guys, also for filmmakers, also for anyone from craft. What I believe you should do is not to be afraid of AI. So that's the first thing, or not to be afraid of non-polished picture, because it's not one or another.
You in your talk, you mentioned that authenticity is very important for the consumer nowadays. But it also seemed that authenticity is equal to a lesser quality of image, that it has a gritty look. And I was wondering, why is that? Is it because it looks more authentic when it's gritty?
No, it's just like fashion. Like everything goes in circles. So we millennials have been obsessed about purpose. So we've been talking about purpose. We've been teaching brands to become purposeful. We wanted to create meaning. We wanted everything to be crafty, craft beer, craft this, craft table, craft cable, craft jacket, everything craft. And it's been just too much. And the new generation, they want to do everything differently.
Yeah.
So they came and it's just like, no craft. We don't like that. This is too polished. This is fake. This is not authentic. And I think authenticity doesn't necessarily mean raw. It means honest. Does this style fits the brand? Is it honest? That's it.
Yeah, that was a funny thing. I talked to a director who made a film, and he said his agency told him, "You should do something on social media and make a little talk about what happened behind the scenes and stuff like that." And he said, "Oh yeah." Then we put some lights here, and said, "No, just film it with your phone." And he said, "No, just make it beautiful." He said, "No, don't make it beautiful, because your audience doesn't want the lights. They don't want the camera. They want to see you with your phone in your hand walking on the street."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing how fast this changed, right?
It did. But it's not where it's going to end. It's just a spiral. It's gonna pass.
Yeah.
But it's fun now to try something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because do you think that if something does have a high production value, it's automatically not honest?
I would say it needs to fit for purpose. So high production value for a good movie, it is honest, right? Like that's how it should be. But for TikTok of 16 seconds, you don't need to have high production, right? Like what important is to tell the story in the most fun, engaging way possible.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they want honest and authentic information.
They do.
And,
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because that's why we're investigating this, of course.
Yep.
So how should we handle this stuff? Because I wrote down, what should we do to stay relevant in the future? But it's not about that.
Let the audience decide.
Yeah, let the audience decide. I mean, why should I try to manipulate that? I mean, that's something that you do.
No,
well, a little bit.
I would
for
say
brands, but
helping brands.
Oh, you're helping. Yes, that's a good
brands.
one.
Yes,
helping brands. Okay, Tanya. Well,
thank you.
We should wrap it up. Thank you for your takeaways.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Dat was hem. Je luisterde naar een aflevering van 3 Takeaways, de podcast. Die maken we in opdracht van mediacampus.nl.
En dat deden we vanaf de Dutch Media Week, waar Tanya ook een van de sprekers was. Wil je meer weten over hoe je je als mediamaker kunt voorbereiden op de toekomst? Ga dan naar mediacampus.nl.
En dan nog even onze vaste disclaimer. Deze podcast is geheel AI-vrij, behalve de tune, die hebben we gemaakt met Suno.
Wil je iets kwijt aan ons of wil je bijvoorbeeld graag een specifieke gast in de podcast horen? Stuur dan een mailtje naar podcast@mediacampus.nl.